Welcome to another episode of MX Unfiltered. This is your host, Johnny F. and Hopper, and I've got an interesting one for you. Why did everyone crash in Detroit?
What chance does a privateer have?
Welcome to Supercross.
What do you say to a factory ride?
Tomac told everybody the track was very sticky. However, everyone kept pushing the front end and low siding. Looked very slippery. I've had a couple privateers tell me, yeah, the track was ridiculously slippery, and it only got worse. I've got my buddy Lesher. He has a GoPro of his lap in qualifying. This is qualifying. Kind of gives you an idea of what the main event might look like because they don't do a whole lot of maintenance during qualifying. They wait to prep it after qualifying so the track is nice and primo. So it's fairly dry and you can see it in this video, right? You know, go follow him. He's an excellent rider and he needs more support. And then there's also the rocks on top. It's gonna make things slippery. You can't get any traction off of rocks. If you guys ever driven down a dirt road, gravelly road, car starts going, and then the other contributing factor is it was cold. It was high 30s during the main event there in Detroit. What happens when dirt gets cold? It gets slippery. If you try to water it when it's really cold, you get like a layer of frost on top. So there's multiple factors in why the riders were crashing, why it was taking everybody out. Maybe during the heat races, that's when the track was sticky, so it got all these weird, nice ruts and choppy, and then as it got colder and drier, that stuff got hard packed and became more of a dangerous track. Good segue into, a lot of these guys keep hitting their heads, right? I'm a huge safety advocate, especially when it comes to concussions, because it's not just about what you're doing now, but what you're doing in the future, and you want to have a prolonged, healthy life. And if we know anything about concussions, we know that it can fuck you up later on. Why is this sport letting riders that are obviously concussed just walk it off and even race 30 minutes later? Sometimes in like McAdoo's case, 5 minutes later, a week later. Pretty much most of my viewers have had a concussion before. That's not a bad thing. It just tells you that the type of genre of the motorcycle athlete, the enthusiast here. We're all risk takers and we understand hitting your head, you know, the adrenaline when it comes to riding. I'm digressing a little bit. My point is that what is my point? This is the concussions, right? And that might have been another good little segue into, we need to protect these guys. And why is it just a thing that you have like guys like Sexton that obviously was concussed, raced the next weekend, and then Anderson, low-sided, you have all the G-forces, boom, into a centralized location right there. There was no inertia taking him anywhere. It was just a right smack right on top of his head. He got up because that's what you do and adrenaline is pumping, your body, your fight or flight reflex is going, boom. Then as he starts composing himself, he's like, where the fuck am I? Is Bitcoin at 300K? Like, what's going on? Oh, I'm in a stadium. I'm on a dirt bike. Oh, shit. And he tips over. That's how I saw it. Okay, I haven't spoken with him. We've seen a post by him saying, hey, I'm all good. You know, sorry for the delayed response. I'm ready for Indianapolis. To me, that was like, hey, everybody collectively around him was like, hey, are you good? Maybe go see a doctor, see you're clear to race, and boom, boom, boom. Now we're good to go.
No.
Rough on him now.
No, he needs to know.
Okay.
He's always crying.
Tough love it is, tough love.
Why is this? I believe that this is a propaganda, political type crap that is in our sport because it's all about money. And it's always about money, right? But if you have a sport that doesn't have a whole lot of money, like how many teams are paying people for free? You know, and how many people are willing to work for free in this sport? Like it blows my mind, right? Just absolutely blows my mind. We're just such deep, genuine enthusiasts that love this sport that we're willing to risk our lives for no reward. It sucks, right? When somebody says that, it sucks. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here. I'm just coming from a risk versus reward, return on investment type of probabilities when it comes to racing motorcycles and being in this industry. And you have to understand that to understand why these riders are willing to risk their health in the future for a short-term success. Because when you have everything laid in front of you where, hey, I'm chasing a championship, hey, these winning bonuses are so good that I have to make sure that I finish well. I don't have a contract next year. I have to continue to push to make this happen. Yes, it's risky, but I will take the risk. You have these athletes that everyone, again, watching my channel, we like to be risky. And also, like, when it comes to injuries, everybody has a broken finger, a torn ACL, a stitched finger, broken ribs. They're always riding with an injury. So how do you convince somebody that, you got a concussion, you shouldn't ride anymore when you're used to riding with more pain? Because a concussion, you don't really, it's like a kind of a hangover sometimes, where you feel slow for a little while, but a couple days later you feel good. However, there's that word, however, you're more likely to hurt your head again and have it be an even worse concussion in a short window. That's why doctors say like 6 weeks to 12 weeks after hitting your head really hard. But our sport just rolls it off like it's not that big of a deal. Conspiracy theory here, like if you look at high-end sports, I feel the most misconduct comes from medical staff at high-end sports. This is where guys get drugs and blah, blah, blah. They get cleared to do whatever because it's about money, politics, propaganda. That's where it's at. I don't necessarily know how to fix it. I want you to join the conversation below. Let me know if I'm out of my goddamn mind or if I'm onto something here, or if it's like, oh yeah, Johnny, I was thinking the same thing. It's okay to banter with me, to aggressively debate. I know that's borderline arguing, but that's fun to do too. It's the internet, right? That's what we do, keyboard warriors. My chest is bigger than yours because I can write with all caps. Kind of bullshit, right? Exactly. So this is Johnny Evan Hopper. Until next time, keep it WFO. I hope I don't wake my baby. Barada!